Do you have a link for it?
Yeah, I just posted it on Twitter and tagged you in it, so you should be able to find it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are live. It is Money in the Bank Recap Sunday. I have a very special guest on today. It is Renee from Hey It's Renee on Twitter. I believe that's also her TikTok, as long as all of her social media. Guys, if you don't know who she is an absolutely incredible content creator in the wrestling space, and I'm honored to have her as a guest. We are going to get into one of the matches on Worlds Collide because I don't want to butcher any names, and I'd feel really bad if I did. And I can't pronounce half their names, so we're just going to go with one match. And then we're going to get into the Money in the Bank recap, but let's kick it off with the Worlds Collide match. Ethan Page beat Javon Evans, Ray Phoenix, and Laredo Kid in the NXT North American Championship match. Renee, what was your thoughts on this match?
Honestly, I think it was the best match of the night. It was fantastic, really good. I think everybody did really well in the match. I'm very surprised Ethan won. I did not see him retaining. I know.
I'm actually
I'm
not
glad that he did.
I'm not surprised Ethan won and retained, only because they just put the title back on him.
That's a good point.
And I think Javon Evans is either main roster bound in the draft or goes after Obafemi for the NXT Championship. Or goes after Trick Williams. I don't think he's going to be getting the NXT North American Championship. I think that's going to be an Ethan and Ricky thing. I think Javon was just in it because of Ray Phoenix and Laredo Kid, and his style meshes well with them.
Yeah. Honestly, I thought he was going to lose because I thought they were going to move him to the main roster, but it makes sense. He just got it, so.
I mean, I've heard that Ricky's moving up to the main roster.
Yeah,
same. I kind of don't want that to happen. I like him in NXT. I like what he's done. I want to see him on the main roster, but I like what he's doing at NXT right now. And I kind of want to see him have an NXT World Title run before he gets called up.
Honestly, I feel like it'd be a little too soon for him because I feel like he just got there,
Yeah. Well,
so
the same with Stephanie Vaquer and Julia. They got called up immediately after. Jordan Grace seemingly going to get called up very soon.
Yeah.
Who knows how long Mariah May is going to be in NXT? You know, she may be called up by Evolution for all we know.
Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised she went to NXT. I thought for sure she was just going to go straight to Monday Night Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah. My only gripe with this match, it was a great match. My only gripe was I didn't think Laredo Kid got the shine that he should have gotten. I feel like he was just in there to almost be a bump guy for them.
Right.
To take most of the bumps. I feel like this whole, and I get it, they just bought AAA, so they're trying to establish that this is not a partnership, but an ownership for WWE. I would have preferred if, going into the Gable match, had it been 2-2 and it been, tied, as opposed to NXT having the lead 3-1 already.
Yeah.
I think that would have made the main event more interesting. Of okay, so who breaks the tie? AAA or WWE. But I liked the match, and I'm glad Ethan retained because Ethan, I don't care. A lot of people don't like Ethan.
Oh, I know.
He's a troll on Twitter, and I love it.
I know.
I go for the heels and the trolls. So
do I. Just like Seth Rollins. Same boat.
Yeah, no, for sure. But the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, we had a match added to that out of Worlds Collide. But we also had, kicking off the show, the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and Naomi ended up winning that one. I was surprised.
Really? I picked her to win.
I didn't think Alexa Bliss was going to win because I think she's about to go with the Wyatt Six.
Okay.
I thought they would do Roxanne or they would do Rhea Ripley again. I thought Roxanne because the story she's got with Liv and Raquel and her trying to weasel her way into the Judgment Day, the best way I feel like for her to do that at this point is say, hey, I've got the one thing that can guarantee the championship comes back to the Judgment Day.
Okay, that makes sense.
I feel like that would have been. Plus, I feel like at this point with Naomi, Bianca's still injured. She still has she's still hurt. I think her hand's broken or something. I'm not exactly
her
sure.
Her finger, yeah.
Jade is around, and I guess this is the way to get to Jade versus Naomi at Evolution or at SummerSlam, because I think Jade has already announced she's going to be in the King and Queen of the Ring tournament. So if she wins that tournament, Naomi's champion, that gives them the SummerSlam match. I do wonder, though, where Bianca fits into this, because I wonder if it's Bianca and Naomi at Evolution, if Naomi cashes in before Evolution. I don't know when she cashes in. I'm very surprised that we didn't have a cash in last night on the men's side.
Oh, I'm not. They're hyping up the Monday Night Raw tomorrow way too much to not have a cash in. So I was like, there's no way Seth is cashing in night of. I think it's going to happen tomorrow, honestly. I
do too, but I'm a Roman guy, so I really want Roman to come out and just destroy Seth and cost him that championship. I love Seth, but I don't want to see Seth as the world champion right now. It's fine with Jay. I don't see them putting it back on Gunther, at least not now.
No.
Seth, I'm trying to find a nice way to say this about Seth.
Oh, God.
Seth is like the friend that you have that you hang out with because you're forced to. Like, I feel like Paul Heyman, like Seth was like, if you don't go with me, I'm going to make your life a living hell. Like, you're siding with me at WrestleMania, and we're going to have Braun and Bronson. And if you don't side with me, I'm going to make your life a living hell. I feel like that's what Seth said. Because I don't see why Seth needs Heyman. And I don't see why Heyman needs Seth.
I mean, I like it.
But it does make for entertaining TV. It makes for entertaining TV. And I will say, him having Braun and Bronson, it's scary.
Bronson? I think you said Braun. It's so confusing. Bronson and Braun Breaker. It's like very confusing.
The way I dictate it is Braun Breaker, and then everybody, there's a running joke on social media, I don't know if you've seen it, that Jake TV72, the Twitch streamer.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I give him stuff for it.
So I just call him Jake. That's all I do. I'm just like,
oh my
Jake.
God. That's hilarious.
But I'm glad Naomi won it because she absolutely deserves it. I was surprised. I honestly thought they were doing Rhea again.
I had Naomi and Rhea, so yeah.
I just thought, you know what? Yeah, Rhea's in this match. But now we see Julia will probably win the United States Championship. We could have something with Stephanie and Rhea going down the road in Raw that sets up for something at Evolution, which I was thinking if that match happens, I feel like the internet will break. If that match happens, the internet might break because everybody loves Rhea and everybody loves Stephanie. So also shout out to Stephanie Faker for pulling double duty and wrestling and 3 times in less than 24 hours.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know how she did that. Because she
it's crazy.
The six woman match on SmackDown, then the Lola Vice tag match, then Money in the Bank.
Then Money in the Bank.
She'll probably wrestle tomorrow night on Raw. So it's insane.
That's crazy.
But the next match on the card might be my favorite match, at least as far as styles are concerned. Dirty Dominic Mysterio, or as Marissa on Make Yourself Famous says, Dom Dom.
I say that too.
versus Octagon Jr., who I didn't realize. Apparently, Octagon Jr. is Kalisto. Apparently, from what everybody said online, I don't think he is, but everybody keeps saying he's Kalisto. But he wrestled at Worlds Collide, and then him and Dominic brawled, set up the Intercontinental Championship match. I thought this match didn't get enough time, personally.
Oh, I agree. I feel like that's how all of Dominic's matches are. They don't give him enough time.
No, they don't.
It's really annoying.
Very unfair. It is very unfair because Dom is very good, and he could go out there and have a 30 to 40 minute match, no problem. And my other thing is, when it comes to especially like a PLE, there's really not. They've ran over on PLEs before, so there's not exactly a set timestamp you have to have. It's not like with AEW where they buy out pay-per-view time.
Yeah,
there is a subscription base, so they can do whatever they want. I was surprised this match got added, just because I really didn't think we were going to get. I thought 4 matches was it, like everybody made their predictions,
Mhm.
and I usually wait until the day of because there's always something on SmackDown before.
Mhm.
And even I was like, I don't think we're getting anything. I think we're getting these 4 matches and that's it. Because Cena was in a match, Jay was in a match, Cody had a match, and there was a women's match. So I thought that was going to be all the matches. But
Mhm.
I'm glad we got a 5th match because I think it filled out the card.
Yeah. I mean, I at least it was a title match, though, because I feel like a lot of the other champions are not getting a time frame. Like Montez Ford, like the Street Profits, like when's the last time, besides on SmackDown, that they've had a match?
Don't get me started on the tag team division.
That annoys me. Selena Vega, like I don't understand why she's not on it.
You have the women's Intercontinental Champion who did get a match. You have the women's United States Champion who didn't get a match on SmackDown or Money in the Bank. I don't think.
Right.
She might have
She could have done it at Worlds Collide. That would have been pretty cool. But
it would have made sense too because isn't she of Puerto Rican descent?
Mm-hmm.
So she could have wrestled one of the ladies at Worlds Collide for sure.
Right.
I mean, they had Chad Gable at Worlds Collide, and you couldn't find
time for Selena Vega.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had the Raw Tag Team Champions. New Day hasn't done anything. I don't think they've been on a PLE since Mania.
That's what I'm saying. Both the tag team divisions haven't. That's crazy.
Montez and Angelo, the disrespect got to stop with Montez. This booking of Montez and Angelo, like I'm glad we're getting pay-per-view level matches on SmackDown.
Right.
But they're pay-per-view level for a reason. You put them on a pay-per-view. I mean, they can't even get booked on Saturday night's main event, which is not a pay-per-view. It's just a TV special.
Well, they should have had their match at WrestleMania. I don't know why they weren't on the WrestleMania card. There was enough room for it.
Absolutely. Like I don't think that I don't think that Triple H and TKO and Nick Khan really, I don't want to say they don't care about the tag team division, but I don't think it's their priority right now. You can tell what the priority is, and it's this stuff, it's solo stuff, and then everybody else just kind of filters in where they can.
That's true. Yeah.
But now with the Wyatt Six back, maybe we get something with the tag team division. Now that it looks like it's going to be like all the tag teams band together to take out the Wyatt Six, so maybe we get something. I'm hopeful we get something.
Mm-hmm.
But I was very surprised. I wasn't surprised Dom won. I was surprised at how good that match was, though, because I didn't know how their styles would clash because they have similar styles.
For sure, yeah.
And so I didn't know how they'd clash. And people got to remember, I saw somebody tweet this, that Dom always disrespects the Lucha Legends. No, his character disrespects Lucha Libre. In any interview I've seen him in, he always talks about his Godfathers. He's got his Godfather's mask tattooed on him, like he respects the heritage.
Yeah,
people just
it's just the heel work.
It's kayfabe, and he's really good at kayfabe.
Right,
but it's also in an interview. He's not like the interview he did with Stephanie McMahon. He straight up said, "I have nothing but love and respect for Lucha because I was trained by my dad. I was trained by my godfathers in Orlando. Like Conan is one of his godfathers, and he was there. Chavo Guerrero is one of the people that helped train Dom. He was there. So, like he respects it, but people need to just differentiate. And also, the people that say that, you know, Dom and Liv disrespect his wife because of the stuff they do on TV, he has said on multiple occasions. He texts her what's going on. He tells her what the plan is. And if she's uncomfortable with something, he tells them to take it out.
Right.
He's also said, did you freeze?
No, okay, I'm listening to you. Sorry.
Okay. He's also said on multiple occasions, like Marie is friends with Liv. She's friends with Rhea. She's friends with a lot of the women backstage. And she understands when he's at work, he's dirty Dominic Mysterio. When he's at home, he is, in his own words, her goofy husband, Dominic. They're two different people. So people need to stop trying to put this wedge between Marie and the wrestlers that Dom works with, because that drives me more insane than anything, is seeing people say that Liv is being disrespectful for doing her job,
Right.
and that Dom is being disrespectful for doing her job or his job. I mean, it's a job.
I mean, I kind of get their point. Like, I will say Dom's wife is very strong, because I know if I saw my man in there making out with Liv Morgan, I'd be like, okay, that's crazy. But I would understand it. Like, I wouldn't be like mad. I would just be like, oh, this is crazy. Like, have you looked at Liv Morgan? Like, that's crazy.
I don't know if you saw it, but or if you remember it, but when Rhea and Dom were going through there, Liv was trying to get in between them, and Rhea like licked his face or something.
Yes, I remember that.
He said in an interview that when Rhea licked his face, the first text he got from his wife was, "There's a tarantula in our garage." That was the first text. It wasn't anything about, "Hey, I don't want her doing that." It was, "There's a tarantula in the garage." So
I mean, they've also been together for a really long time.
They've been together since they were like 14.
Yeah, he said it in his interview with Stephanie McMahon that they've been together since like middle school. So,
and he also said the only reason he would break up the marriage is if somebody gave him an In-N-Out burger and all he had to do was leave his wife.
Yeah,
he would leave
I remember
her
that,
and then get back together with her after he got the In-N-Out burger. So, like, I get their point, because I'll be honest, if my girlfriend or my wife
was doing
stuff like that, would it make me uncomfortable? Yes, but at the same time, I would trust her, because I know that if she does something wrong and something goes foul, it's going to come out eventually.
Yeah.
But I don't understand people just don't like Dominic. And I think it's because his storyline is he effectively gets all the girls in the company.
Good for him. Good for him.
Yeah. Let's get into this, though. We had Becky Lynch beat Lyra Valkyria for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, and Lyra had to raise Becky's hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be honest, I hated it. I
loved it.
I didn't like the match. I didn't like the way it finished. I don't like the fact that Becky won, because I wanted to see this carried out to SummerSlam. Of Becky chasing Lyra, and then at SummerSlam, I would have been fine with Becky winning. I feel like last night was a perfect time for Bayley to come back. And I thought she was, because of all the waiting they did of Becky making Lyra lift her hand and then do it around the ring and then like put the title around her waist. Like, I thought eventually Bayley's coming back. It didn't happen.
I think she's coming back tomorrow.
I love Lyra Valkyria. I love Becky Lynch. I just didn't love the match. Probably because like the finish was iffy to me. Like, we had a roll-up finish when I feel like we could have had a secure, like, Becky hits her finisher, pins her, and that's it. But I don't know, maybe I'm just nitpicking here.
Yeah.
The match was okay. I just would have preferred if Lyra won. Because I feel like Lyra was just hitting her stride as champion. And now Becky's got the title. And what's next for Lyra? Does she go after Becky? Does Bayley come back and they go after the tag titles? Like, what's next for Lyra? And then also, what's next for Becky? Because there's another woman coming back that we're going to talk about that could intervene in the Intercontinental Championship picture for the women. But you did like the match?
Oh, I loved it. I'm a Becky Lynch girl. I think she's the GOAT, and anytime she wins a title, I'm here for it. I love her to death, and I think she's going to do really well with that title. I think that I'm not trying to be mean, but I think she's going to make it a little more, not relevant, but have it mean more with her going after other people. I want her and Bayley at Evolution or at SummerSlam. So I'm really happy that she won it because there's so many people that I want Becky to go up against for that title. I think Lyra will be fine. She was a great champion. She's a great wrestler. I enjoyed every match that she's had with Becky Lynch. So, but I love Becky. So I'm very happy that she won the title. And then Seth also won. So they're the power couple. You know?
Yeah, there is that. And we're actually about to get into that men's Money in the Bank match because something happened during the match that I've waited for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so glad they finally pulled the trigger. And I'm so glad those 4 words were said. Mm-hmm. And then we can move on and move to something new.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
In fact, I think we're going to talk about that before we talk about the actual match. Because I'm so excited to talk about it. Jacob finally turned on Solo. I hate you, Solo. Finally. It's been
I feel like they dragged it on for so long, too. I'm like,
they're doing the same thing. They're doing the same thing with Finn and Dom. Finn's eventually going to turn, but they're wasting time.
100%.
When Jacob came out there, when Bronson and Braun were going to attack Solo, and Jacob and JC Mateo, who I'm just going to call Jeff Cobb, because that's his name. I don't care what they're calling him. But when they came out, and I saw Jacob with Jeff Cobb, I thought, oh no, they're not going to do the turn. Jacob's going to protect Solo. Solo's going to win the freaking contract. He's going to go on to beat Jay for the title or something. Like, I did not think they were doing that. I thought, oh my God, they're not going to do it. They had the moment last night, the Batista Triple H type moment where Solo said that Jacob was all gas, no brains. They had the moment, and they're not going to capitalize on it. I've never been so happy to hear the words, I hate you, Solo, and see Jacob super kick him. And I love Solo selling as Jacob's got his leg, being like, I can't move. Why can't I move? Who's holding my leg? Did somebody get Jacob? But
Solo was entertaining through the whole entire freaking thing when he was doing the LA Knight thing, and then he did the Penta thing.
Solo is my new R-Truth. I love R-Truth, but Solo is getting to that level of comedy where everything he does is just funny.
It's really funny.
His facial expression, the way he acts, it's great.
But he's starting to grow on me a lot.
When Jacob turned on Solo, though, I was so happy.
That crowd reaction was insane.
The fans wanted babyface Jacob from his debut. They wanted Jacob
that, and since he won the title at WrestleMania too.
So, what did you think of the turn? Because I thought it was beautiful. And shout out Malcolm, because he's going through it today.
Oh, he's a big Solo fan. Yeah.
He is Mr. Solo, his tribal chief. Malcolm, I have some words for you. No, he's not. Jacob is the tribal chief until Roman gets back. It is Jacob. Jacob's in charge of that family.
I love Jacob, so I'm very happy that they finally pulled the plug on that. So he's probably my favorite in the bloodline, to be honest.
No, so I got a chance to meet Zilla when I went to Bad Blood in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And just talking to Zilla for a minute, like, Zilla and Jacob are the same person. I'm convinced they're the same person. They act the same. They wrestle very similar. Mm-hmm. And they both just... They're both just scary. Like, if you've never talked to them and you're just looking at them from a distance, you're like, I don't want to go talk to that guy.
Right.
Like, he looks like he could hurt me.
Right.
But they're also just both big old teddy bears. So I loved them. And to see Jacob, though, because now it can be Jacob can go through JC Mateo. We can get Solo and Jacob at SummerSlam. Mm-hmm. And as much as I love Jacob, it is time to put a main roster championship on Solo. So I would be okay with Solo taking the U.S. title off of him at SummerSlam. As much as I love Jacob.
Interesting.
Also, more importantly, Jacob needs to run the family. Roman, you need to make Jacob the tribal chief. We need that tweet where you say Jacob's now the tribal chief. Also, the smirk on Paul Heyman's face when Jacob turned was just cold. Because they panned the camera to him for like a minute, but the smile on his face, he knew. eventually this would happen.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just, I think everybody was finally glad to see Solo get what was coming to him for so long.
Right. Yeah.
I jumped out of my seat. I was so happy. It made me so happy.
No.
But let's get into the actual match. Seth Rollins won the men's Money in the Bank match. Not surprised.
I'm not either. I said he was gonna win.
I thought it was either going to be Seth or Solo because of the
storyline
of them having factions.
Yeah.
I thought it was great that we didn't get CM Punk or Sami Zayn or Roman interfere.
Mm-hmm.
And actually winning the contract, only because I think someone interferes tomorrow night. I'm hoping it's Roman. I don't want to see CM Punk come out. I don't want to see Sami Zayn come out. I want Roman's music to hit and him return. But apparently, from everything I've read, Roman is in like a contract negotiation with TKO, trying to give him a pay cut because of him being part-time. They think he's being paid too much because he's too much
to save
part-time.
money too. They're trying to save money. It
Well,
makes sense.
His contract's like $15 million or something like that. His contract's insane. But at the same time, don't take money out of the Tribal Chiefs. Don't take money out of the Tribal Chiefs bank account. He is the draw for y'all.
Oh, I would 100% disagree. I think Seth Rollins is way more of a draw.
Oh, yeah. Seth is the draw?
Oh, yeah. Listen, I've been a Seth Rollins girl since he was Tyler Black, and nothing will ever make me turn my back against him. I want him to successfully cash in. I love Jay, but I want Seth as a champion. Listen, what's crazy is I was at WrestleMania when Seth Rollins cashed in successfully, and I'm going to Monday Night Raw tomorrow. So if Seth actually cashes in and he does it successfully, that's twice that I would have seen him cash in. That's crazy. It's crazy.
So you might be his good luck charm on cash-ins.
Maybe I just need to go to all the events. Right? Isn't that crazy?
Maybe every time Seth wins something. Every time Seth defends the title, you're there.
Then I have to be there for it? Oh, Lord.
Even if it's in Saudi Arabia at Night of Champions, you got to be there.
Oh, God, that's a long flight. I don't think I could do all that. No, but I love Seth.
Going to Saudi on anybody.
In my honest opinion, I get why people are mad. I understand, especially LA Knight fans. I know they're very angry. I understand. But if you think about it, him and Solo were the only two people that made the most sense to win Money in the Bank. They were hyping Seth's group up way too much for him not to win it. Like, obviously, they were going to help him win. Like, that was so freaking obvious. Now, as far as what you said about Roman coming back tomorrow, personally, I think CM Punk is going to be the one to cost Seth Rollins tomorw. Or at least try to.
I can't agree with that, you see, because I like CM Punk. I do. But I've been a Seth and Roman guy, which I love Seth. I've been a Seth and Roman guy since the Shield days, since they debuted on the main roster. Like, that's when I was introduced to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've always been pro Seth and pro Roman until WrestleMania this past year when Paul Heyman, that slimy, vindictive walrus of a man, turned his back on my tribal chief and sided with Seth Rollins. But here's the sad part, though. Seth's character is a heel.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's going to boo him if he beats Jay.
Mm-mm.
Because people don't want Jay to be champion anymore.
They're not even booing him right now. They're still singing his song when he comes out.
Well, that's the other thing. His song is too catchy for him to be a heel. His song is a babyface song. His moveset is babyface.
Right.
Like, everything he does, I kind of like this idea. I don't think he's a face I think he's a tweener.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on who he goes up against, but I like that.
Yeah.
If Seth cashes in successfully tomorrow, though, I do think we get Punk and Rollins at SummerSlam.
I'm telling you right now, if Seth cashes in tomorrow successfully, I'm going to cry so much.
Well, you'll be there. So if he cashes if he cashes in tomorrow successfully, the first thing I'm going to tweet is, well, Renee is his good luck charm.
Good luck charm. I'm saying, because what are the chances that I'd be there for both cash-ins. And look how far apart they are from each other too. You can't predict that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. Also, it's been a decade since he cashed in last, because the last one was Mania 31. So
2015.
Now you've got me wanting him to cash in successfully. Dang it!
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I was so pro Roman and against Seth, but now I don't want to see Roman return yet. I want to wait until. I thought he was going to return last night. I'm glad he didn't.
Yeah. Or he could just attempt to cash in tomorrow, and then Roman or Punk prevents him from cashing in. Because I think it'd be such a waste for him to cash in unsuccessfully. Like, I think he should cash in successfully, but like constantly be stopped doing it. But that's just my opinion. So
there's only been 3 failed cash-ins for the men. There was Cena failed, Corbin
Baron
failed,
Corbin, and Austin Theory, right?
And Theory failed on Seth for the freaking United States Championship, which is when we which is when we all know it's any championship, not just a world title, which I thought we had the precedent. It's a world championship you have to cash in on.
Right.
But I get it, at the time, Roman was the only world champion. So I do understand them changing it for that year. But they need to change it back. Like last night, them asking Becky if she was worried about Naomi being Money in the Bank. She's the Intercontinental Champion. Naomi should be going after Tiffany Stratton.
Oh, I think she's definitely cashing in on Tiffany.
Oh, I do too. I'm just saying the idea being placed there of what if she cashes in on Becky? No. Don't cash in on Becky. Don't cash in on Zelina.
I don't want them to waste the Money in the Banks like that. That's stupid.
On a mid-card, yeah.
Yeah, that's dumb.
I prefer to be on the world title. Even if it's a failed cash in, at least you can say, well, we failed against a world champion.
Right.
But I do think the women have never failed. They've always been successful. So I think Naomi's going to be successful.
Yeah. I was like, wait, really? And I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right.
Seth, I think he'll be successful. I kind of want him to do it against John Cena, though. I don't want him to cash in.
Oh, my God. Me too, because then I would get Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins again, and I would be here for that.
Well, they kind of teased Cody and Seth on SmackDown.
That's true. You're right. When he whispered something in Cody's ear. That's
true.
Also,
John Cena's whole thing is he's going to ruin wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what better way to ruin John Cena's year than for Seth to cash in on him and beat him for the championship?
That's a good point.
I'm tired of Cena being a heel. I want him to go back to a babyface. His heel run is lazy booking, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
He wins every time the same way.
Yeah.
Ref bump. Now I understand why people complain so much about Roman when Roman was champion, of how he was winning. Ref bump, cheats with the title, and he's not even hitting a finishing move. He's just hitting him in the face with a championship.
First of all, he won at WrestleMania because of Travis Scott. That's what you're going to be known for you're 17th. That's embarrassing. Yeah. And I love John Cena, but that is embarrassing. Okay. That pissed me off so much.
I don't know when this is happening. I would like for it to be, very soon, or just tell us that it was all a joke and he's not coming back. Mm-hmm. Where is The Rock at? Because didn't Cena sell his soul to The Rock? And we haven't heard from Rock since Chamber. So
I could care less.
I want to see Rock do something, say something about it. Like, we haven't seen Rock, and I thought Rock might return last night because they had Rock's mom and his daughters in the crowd behind the commentary table.
Yeah, I saw Cody hug his mom.
And then Sean Ross Sapp tweeted out right before the main event, I think there's a reason this is main eventing.
Oh.
So I thought Rock's coming back. We didn't get Rock. We did get a return of somebody I'm very excited to talk about. Because now I don't know if we were worked or not, but I don't think we were. R-Truth is back. Or Ron Killings. They released a shirt under the name Ron Killings on the shop. Apparently that's what it's going to go by now.
Well, he said on Twitter that it wasn't a work. He literally said it wasn't a work. So.
Well, I was so confused because, everybody was saying, well, the media got it wrong. It was a work. It was a,
Yeah.
And then his son come out after the press conference and commented no cap under Triple H saying, "Are you enjoying the show? All part of a show." And then Truth tweeted, "Not a work," in a reply to a fan. So I don't know. I don't think it was a work because the locker room, if the locker room got worked and was all part and we're all part of that, that's impressive that they all agreed. Yeah, we'll tweet about R-Truth getting released.
Right.
But even
I don't think it. Well, when I first thought it was a work, but then after seeing R-Truth's tweets, I was like, okay, so it definitely wasn't. So obviously, I think that shows that like our voices do matter and our voices do work. I mean, we kind of noticed that with the whole Cody thing going on when they were supposed to do Brock versus Roman.
I wasn't part of that. I was part of the
really?
We don't Cody.
Okay.
Listen,
all right, that's it. We're done with this interview. No, I'm just kidding.
No, hold on. Let me explain. I love Cody. I do. But Tribal Chief is above him.
Oh,
and
Lord.
So my allegiance lies with Roman. So at the time when Cody was trying to take the championship off of Roman, I was very pro, let's just do Rock and Roman because I knew Roman would retain.
Honestly, they should have done Rock and Roman a while ago. They've been pushing it way too much, and now it's just like, what's the purpose of even doing it anymore?
Oh, they're not doing it anymore.
While ago, yeah.
This was probably the last Mania they could have done it, and they decided to go. Rock is gonna have John Cena sell his soul to him,
right?
And they're gonna do Roman, Seth, and Punk as the other main event
for next year.
No, for this past year.
Oh yeah,
I don't think that WrestleMania 42, at this point, like Rock's over 50. He's extremely busy with movies. I don't think he's ever coming back to wrestle.
Yeah,
even if
I agree with you.
I think Roman's only got one Mania left in him. He said that he thinks he only has maybe one or two.
Yeah.
Before he goes to make movies, so which it's gonna kill me when he leaves because I'm a Samoan family guy. I love the Samoan wrestlers.
That's how I feel about John Cena. Like, I'm going to be really, really sad when he
actually it's going to kill me.
Yeah.
When Cena retires at the end of the year, I'm going to be very depressed for about 2 or 3 days. And then just go, okay, so where's Roman? Like, that's just what I'm going to do.
I'm really hoping, even though I know he's on SmackDown, I'm really hoping that he's at Raw tomorrow just because I want to see him on his retirement tour. But I saw him at WrestleMania, obviously, but, like, I want to see him, like, one last time before I don't ever get to see him again. You know,
I think he's advertised for Raw tomorrow. I think, yeah.
Is he? Okay.
WWE Adam Pearce posted a video that Jay would be there.
So you're telling me that there is a chance that Seth could cash in on John Cena if he's going to be at Raw? There is a chance. Okay.
WWE posted a video of Adam Pearce saying Nikki Bella returns.
I saw that, yes.
Cena will be there. Cody will be there, or not Cody. Jay will be there, and Gunther and Seth will be in the house, is what they said.
Okay, gotcha.
So they highlighted both world champions and Gunther.
Dang, I think this is going to be a good Raw then.
I really want to see Seth cash in on Cena, although I don't think he does. I think storyline it makes more sense for him to do Jay.
Yeah. Also, they're both
they've already had the match,
so that wouldn't make sense.
I think we get something with R-Truth and John Cena though, since Truth technically cost Cena the match.
Correct.
And I think we're getting a heel R-Truth because I don't think we get the old comedy gimmick. John Cena's my hero because Truth hit Cena with a title.
Mm-hmm.
He did something that was a heel move to John Cena. So I wonder if we're getting. Plus, they said his name will be Ron Killings now.
Yeah,
so I wonder if we're getting like a TNA run. But it does look like it's gonna be the last run from his son's Instagram story.
Correct.
Him posting. He posted something about congratulations on the new contract, one last run or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I saw that. Yeah.
Let's get into the main event though, because obviously, I mean, R-Truth stole the show.
Yeah.
But Jey Uso, yeet. I have to yeet. Samoan, gotta yeet it. And Cody Rhodes. Cody.
Cody pinned him. Okay, Cody pinned John Cena. Let's just talk
Cody
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't have won that match without R-Truth, and we know it. John Cena would have somehow won that match. But he beat John Cena and Logan. They beat John Cena and Logan Paul.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta be honest. When Logan first came into WWE as like a tag team partner for Miz, I was like, "This is stupid. This is gonna be a one-off. There's no way he takes it seriously. It's just another celebrity." He takes it seriously.
Oh, I love watching him wrestle.
He's actually really good, which makes me mad because as a person, I don't like him. But then as an in-ring character and in the ring as a wrestler, I'm like, this guy's probably one of my favorites right now going.
Oh, I completely.
And he's only 30. That's the thing. He's only 30, so he's got another maybe 10 years.
He's 29. I think he's 29.
He just turned 30.
Okay.
I think WrestleMania weekend, or no, beginning of.
Oh, you're
April.
right. You're right. The beginning of April. You're right. Because they talked about it at during WrestleMania week.
Yeah, how he was only 30 years old, and he's probably got. Because people were saying, isn't he like in his mid 30s? And they're like, no, he like just turned 30.
Yeah.
So he's probably got another decade in him. If he stops.
I think he's gonna hold that world title before he leaves, and I know people are gonna be so mad, but he is going to hold that title.
I want him to, only because I want to see Twitter explode and just everybody.
Same. Everybody's freaking out.
Imagine if everybody started just the hashtag "We Hate Logan" as he wins the world championship. I would have liked to have seen him win it at Saturday Night's Main Event because I feel like him and Gunther would have been a great match to have on a Monday Night Raw.
That would have been nuts. Honestly, I thought he was going to be in the Money in the Bank match, and I thought he was going to win Money in the Bank, but that didn't happen. So,
which I'm glad he didn't win Money in the Bank, but I do think because he's had great matches against Roman, he's had great matches against Cody, Seth. He's also had a great match against. He's had a great match against Jay. He's proven he can go with the top guys.
Yeah.
So, and he doesn't look like a rookie or like he's lost when he wrestles them either.
Oh, absolutely not. I love watching him wrestle. When I didn't like him when he first got in because I was like, ew, he's a YouTuber. Like, who cares? And my husband was like, Renee, he's very athletic. He's probably going to be really good at this. And then sure enough, I'm like, okay, all right.
You know who else is really athletic? There's a lot of there's a lot of baseball players that are really athletic. That doesn't mean they're going to be good professional wrestlers.
You are right, but listen, my husband was right. I mean, Logan is good, so
Jake Paul's athletic. We saw him try to wrestle. He can't. But I will say, when he punched the Usos, because it didn't even look like he made contact. He didn't even try to make that look good. Yeah, I will say, I think it proved that his boxing matches maybe aren't scripted because he can't throw a fake punch. He proved that when he tried to knock out the Usos, and they just had to figure out something to do.
Right.
I loved the match, and I don't know if you watched the post show. I did. When Jay and Cody were on the podium, and Cody goes, "That press conference we did a while back,
we were drunk.
I got to be honest, we were drunk." And I loved that Rosenberg and Vic Joseph were like, "Yeah, we know. You don't say."
Like we couldn't figure that out. It's pretty obvious.
Remember the press conference better than y'all remember the press conference.
Yeah,
I
still
like
watch it.
Oh, I've got it posted on my TikTok. I've got a clip of it. I literally went back last night and just watched it just to laugh.
I had to show my husband last night because I looked at my husband last night and I said, "Do you feel him, sir?" And my husband was like, "What does that mean?" So I had to show him it. He's like, "Oh my God, that's amazing." I was like, best part of the whole thing. Do you feel him, sir?
That and then Jay talking to I don't know if it was like a producer, like security, but him just talking to one of the people in the back about, "She's been here since both our daddies was here."
Cody's just sitting there like, oh my God.
Hey, Cody did give us fair warning to start the press conference. Oot and I might have had a libation or two on the bus.
Yeah,
I don't
for
think,
sure.
I don't even think Triple H knew what to say though. When he came up after that, he was like, "Well,
like,
there goes Cody and
okay.
Jay."
Right.
I love it. And then Jay's entrance into the press conference, him clinging the titles together, just yelling "Yeet." I knew when he walked in the room, I was like, okay, he's drunk.
Oh,
There's
100%.
no spot he's not. I didn't think Cody would show up drunk though. I thought Jay might, but Cody, because Cody's normally the suit and tie company guy.
Right.
And I will say that's when it started to turn for me for Cody. I was like, okay, I can respect Cody now. Because he's not just a suit and tie, just zipped up, perfect politician character. He is actually going to be fun to watch.
Right. Oh yeah.
I was a little mad when he lost the world title at Mania to John Cena, only because
I want to talk about it.
I didn't want to see Cody's reign in a year after it started, because I thought they should at least give whoever beat Roman 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I agree.
But let's get into the biggest, one of the biggest things coming out of last night.
Okay.
Nikki Bella is set to return tomorrow night. Got to be honest, I'm a little jealous you're going to be there.
I'm dressing up as her too for Monday Night Raw, so I'm very excited.
I am. When this got announced, everybody posted about it. I've read some of the comments in the comment section. I got to be honest.
Oh, it's bad.
People need to stop saying that she came back because of John Cena. Like, everybody thinks that she came back because it's Cena's last year and she's going to try to get Cena to date her again. She just went through a divorce.
Right.
I don't know if she's ready to get into a relationship again, but at the same time, John Cena is married.
Yeah.
Leave the man alone. Their relationship ended. It ended. I don't know if it ended well or ended badly. I really can't remember. Mm-hmm. But it ended. It's over. They're coworkers and friends. Let it be that. And also the people saying that the only reason this was one of the comments that I read that I laughed at it when I read it.
Okay.
That she's coming back because she has to pay her ex-husband and she's running out of money.
I don't pay attention to that stuff. People are so...
She has a podcast with her sister. Mm-hmm. She has multiple brands with her sister. Mm-hmm. She runs multiple companies with her sister. Mm-hmm. And she's one of the most successful reality TV stars in the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm. She's also the longest reigning Divas champion of all time, too.
With two of the best... I still watch both of her reality TV shows. I was a Total Divas fan.
And they need to bring that back. They need to bring that back so bad.
I got to be honest. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I loved watching the show.
Oh, it was hilarious.
It was hilarious. Yeah. Also, you kind of get to know the people behind the character, which I really liked.
Mm-hmm.
So and I'm not ashamed to admit it, I was a fan of Total Divas, and I still am. And they bring it back, which there's been several. Nikki's been one. Natalia's been one. Some of the current women on the roster.
Naomi and Jimmy.
Tiffany Stratton has said she would want to do it.
Oh, could you imagine? That would be fun.
Could you imagine them doing a night out or something with Tiffany Stratton, Nikki Bella, Natalya, Naomi,
Bianca.
Just those four? Bianca, which Bianca's already done a reality TV show with Montez. So maybe she'll do it. I don't know. I want it to come back. I really do.
That'd be cool.
But Nikki coming back, it makes sense. I do wonder, though, is this going to be a full-time return, or is she going to return and then take a couple weeks off and then come back around Evolution? Because she did that at Rumble, where she came back at Rumble.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen her since.
Yeah. Honestly, I think she's going to be part of Evolution. I think that's why she's coming back tomorrow. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe Becky will do an open challenge and Nikki accepts it. I don't know.
Imagine Nikki Bella returns and she wins the Women's Intercontinental Championship.
That would be
first night.
Crazy. And in her hometown, because she's from Arizona, so that would be kind of cool.
Well, then again, yeah, actually, you know what? She wouldn't get the win then because they don't like to give wins to people in their hometown for some reason.
That's true.
I wish they would because it would be nice.
Yeah.
I do wonder, though, does this set the door up for maybe Brie to come back? Because she's not with a company. And Brian is, I think, under like he's under like a part-time deal with AEW or something. So obviously he can't come back. But I do wonder, do they bring back Brie and do the Bella Twins like win the tag titles and reignite the women's tag division? Because we need to set a either get rid of the women's tag titles or have a women's tag division.
Correct. I agree. Yeah.
Stop just putting solo competitors in a tag team and figuring it out. Like, and also stop releasing so many women.
Right.
Damage Control no longer exists because you released Dakota Kai, and Io is the women's champion, so she can't go after the tag titles with Kairi.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna be honest. When they released Dakota Kai, I was very mad. I was very mad. I was like, why? What is this? What is the point of it? Same with Cora Jade. When she got released, I was extremely mad.
I was very surprised. Same with Shayna Baszler, too. I was surprised about that.
I was surprised with Shayna. I was also very surprised that they, when they announced R-Truth being released, they also announced that Carlito wouldn't be returning. And they announced that Sarah Logan wouldn't be renewed. Like, that makes no sense to me. It makes no sense.
I think they're just trying to save money, honestly. So,
well, they're charging like $600 for cheap seats at these events.
Oh, I know. So, I went to WrestleMania. I know the tickets are ridiculous.
How much more money can they really?
It is crazy though. They've been releasing a lot of people though. It is pretty insane.
I'm mad that WrestleMania is returning to
Vegas.
For this reason mainly. It's selfish, but they were gonna have Mania in New Orleans originally. Well, I'm from Alabama, so I was going to go to that Mania. It would be my first Mania to go to. I was going to go to it, and now it's getting moved to Vegas.
Oh, yeah. It's official now.
So now I'm not going to go to it because Vegas is too expensive to go to for anything, much less Mania, which is already going to be super expensive. So,
it was very expensive this year. This year. So
yeah, and it's going to be more expensive next year. Like, everybody keeps saying, no, it'll be lower. No, it's going to keep going up because people keep paying to go to the shows, so they're going to keep going up. Also, I'm not a fan of them getting rid of the house shows.
Same.
I prefer they do that. But, what do we know? We're just fans. We're not, we're not part of the business part of it. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
We actually control whether they have any business or not.
Yeah.
So there is that. But that is it for the Money in the Bank recap portion of this. We're going to get into the interview portion, and I got to be honest, I am very excited to interview you.
Okay.
So what wrestler or wrestling show got you into professional wrestling?
Okay, so there's two parts of this. Recently, because I took a long break off of watching wrestling, and Cody actually brought me back into it and made me start caring about it more. But the very first wrestler that got me into it was Triple H. He is my GOAT. He is my absolute favorite. And then Cody Rhodes got me into it within the last, I don't even know, probably maybe 10 years is when Cody started bringing me back into it. So, I don't know. Triple H is like bucket list of someone that I want to meet because I just want to thank him for even getting me into this in the first place. Because if it wasn't for him, I would have never been into wrestling. So that's a big deal for me. And then obviously Cody. So
it's Triple H for all time, and then it's Cody for
recently.
More recently.
Like the last like decade, yeah.
Okay. Well, mine is actually Bray Wyatt for all time. And then I never stopped watching, so I don't have one that got me back.
So you don't have like a second one? Yeah. That's cool, though. No. That's a really good one.
Well, mine was when I remember the exact day too. So my birthday is June 18th. So on June
Okay.
18th of 2014, my parents bought me WrestleMania 30 on DVD, and the
Mhm.
first match I watched was Cena versus Wyatt, and
Oh,
I loved Bray Wyatt over John Cena instantly because I
yeah.
was like, this guy's cool because he's different. He doesn't look like the rest of these guys. So
Yeah.
that's why he got me. So when he passed away, it hurt a lot.
Yeah, same. That one hit me really hard too.
Let's get into this. So, what made you decide that you wanted to be a wrestling content creator?
Ooh, that's a very good question. So I don't know if you know who like BDE is on YouTube.
I
So
do. Yep.
I started seeing his stuff and I was like, this looks like a lot of fun and I want to try it. So during COVID, I started uploading, not thinking anything of it. And then I made a video about if you are a wrestling fan, you know these theme songs. And that is what made me go viral. And I was like, okay, this is cool. And then as I told you, like I was really getting back into wrestling because of Cody. And so I was just like, maybe I should start making content about that since obviously my wrestling content, because everything else that I was posting previously before that was not doing anything. But as soon as I posted about wrestling, it was like, that was my thing. And I knew that was going to be my thing, which I'm fine with because I love it. So that's really what got me into it. Honestly, as I saw him on YouTube doing stuff and I was like, okay, I need to start doing it. And then I got into other creators. When I got into TikTok, like Malik, I don't know if you know who Narcolepsy Boy is. He's one of my really good friends and he has really helped me become a content creator and do as well as I do. So I really appreciate him for that because he's like one of the biggest TikTok creators that there is in this community besides Santi. So again, that's really got me into it, was being able to do that. And I love it. I wouldn't want to do anything else. I love doing it because I always got made fun of for liking wrestling. And so it's really nice to be in a community that accepts me and like understands that like we all love this. So it's really nice that I get to do this every day. For sure. It's a little nerve wracking sometimes, I will tell you that, especially being a girl that's into wrestling. It's a lot to deal with, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't change it for anything. So
I see it on Twitter and on TikTok. The comment sections under like Marissa's videos, your videos, Mini Portable, like
Wheezy.
Wheezy, like
Mhm.
the
It's a
hate
lot.
they'll get is completely unprofessional and ridiculous.
Yeah.
And like there needs to be more people that stand up for it and that stand out and talk about it because
Right.
I don't think that people realize there being females in that space is huge because it
Yeah.
shows young girls that hey, it's okay to like wrestling and to like football and stuff like that. Like so I
Yeah.
applaud you for
I get told that a lot from people, which really means a lot to me. Is I get a lot of girls that tell me that they're like, you make it safe to like wrestling, you make it okay to like something like this because it's such a male dominant sport. And I'm like, that means a lot to me that I inspire people to care about wrestling, especially as a
yeah.
girl. So, and I love football too, and sometimes I make football content too, and I get shit for that, and I'm just like, okay, whatever, like it just comes with it. You just got to deal with it. So
You definitely have to develop tough skin in the
yes.
States. And if you
Yes.
don't have that tough skin, um, it may not be for you at the time, but you may end up developing it later.
Correct. Yeah, for sure.
For me, ironically, it was watching BDE's videos during COVID is when I found him, and then also
Yeah.
Conman, like watching
Yes.
their stuff. And I've had Conman on here before, and we've talked about like everything he's done for me. So it was actually him that got me into wanting to be a creator. So I give all the credit to Conman.
He's a sweetheart.
He's great.
Honestly, that whole little group of guys are really nice. They all follow me and they all support what I do, which means a lot. Like Santi, Conman, BDE, like they all follow me on social media. And I'm like, that means a lot to me because they're such a big deal. They're such a big thing in this community. So to know that like they care about what I do, they like what I do is like so cool. Like I actually met BDE in person at WrestleMania this year. And like he noticed me before I even noticed him, and I was like, this is wild that like you know who I am. That's insane.
Yeah.
So they're very, very nice people. I hope one day I get to meet Conman and Santi for sure. I met Wheezy over WrestleMania as well, and she's a sweetheart. She deals with a lot more stuff than I do, and I feel so terrible for her.
I feel so bad for her because she also like she works her butt off, and like people just don't like her, and I don't know why. Like she's never.
I think what it is no, she's never said anything bad about anybody, but I think it's because she's a streamer. So people think that like, oh, your job's not even that hard. You just sit in front of a computer all day and watch wrestling, and it's like
I can attest.
No,
yes,
no.
I can only stream one event every year, and it's WrestleMania.
And she does a lot. Yeah.
There's no way I could do every week sitting down in front of the camera, paying attention to the show plus the chat plus everything else going on. There's no way I could do it.
Same. I couldn't either.
It's impossible. I make most of my stuff as videos, or I'll do live podcasts. That's it. Mm-hmm. As far as reacting, I no. Which also that goes to like Marissa and Johnny. Obviously, she has Johnny there to help her, but like she holds her on, and she does a great job in streaming as well.
Yeah, for sure. And they have a podcast too, so they do their podcast on top of it.
It's just it's their whole community is great. Like 90. I've learned that like 90% of the wrestling community is very welcoming, and they all love each other. And then there's that 10% that just some of them are creators. I won't name any of them, but I do know some. Not going to name anybody because I don't want them making a video talking about me. And then there's mostly it's just seems to be just male fans. And my favorite part is none of these people that comment under the women's stuff, half of them don't even have a profile picture or like a real.
I say that all the time. The people that come at me never show who they are ever.
I had somebody comment. I posted a video about JC Jane winning the NXT Women's Championship, and I even started it with full disclosure. I didn't watch the show, but I saw this and I wanted to, and I made a video about it. And somebody commented on my YouTube and was like, "So you don't watch the program, but yet you think you can commentate about the program?" I said, first of all, I missed one show when I normally watch every show.
Right.
Secondly, I have watched JC Jane since her debut, and I've watched Stephanie since her debut. And thirdly, I know the business, so I have a good idea of what works and what doesn't work. And it was just my opinion, but they were like, well, I'm just saying.
Oh, they get crazy. They get crazy about things. I think another thing that's like really obnoxious is when they tell you like, when they say that like, oh, you didn't care about them when they were in this company, but now all of a sudden you care about them when they're in this company. And I'm like, no, that's not true at all. But okay, just because I don't talk about the other companies as much doesn't mean that I wasn't paying attention to those things.
There was a time where I would watch AEW more than I would WWE, just for the pure wrestling aspect of it.
Yeah.
And then I realized, you know what? As much as I like AEW, the storyline stuff isn't there. So I did stop watching AEW for a minute. Plus, they got to get a streaming deal with Max where it's, you pay the subscription and you get their pay-per-views. This $60 a pay-per-view is like ridiculous.
I have not watched AEW since Ethan Page left, so I have no idea what's going on.
I haven't watched a single pay-per-view this year because I don't think none of the cards to me have been like worth paying. Certain matches have been.
Yeah.
But then there's also people on Twitter that will download the matches and upload them. So I'm like, I'll just watch the match when it gets posted on social media.
That makes sense. That's crazy.
That's a lot of money. If they did like, a streaming deal with HBO where they were on Max and you paid the $10 or however much it is, and you got to watch their pay-per-views like WWE does with Peacock. That would be great.
And NXT Netflix. That's what I meant to say.
That would be great, but I don't know that Tony Khan is ever going to do that. I hope he does. But we'll see. Let's get into this next question, though. What is your favorite wrestling moment?
I don't know. I feel like it's kind of obvious. When Seth Rollins cashed in at WrestleMania, probably my absolute favorite thing of all time. Absolutely. I'd say the second closest one was Money in the Bank 2016, when all three members of the Shield held like the title for a while. I love it because I am a Shield girl, and so anything that any of them three do is like top tier. But I would for sure say Seth Rollins cashing in. I think that was amazing to be, and the fact that I got to be there for it, it was insane. So, plus like cashing in at WrestleMania, that's insane. Like that's crazy, since he was like the first one to ever do that, and then obviously Damian Priest. So
yeah, Damian had to steal it.
I'm glad he did. I love Damian Priest.
Oh, I'm glad he did too, because it made it more entertaining for the Punk McIntyre feud.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So you said the Seth Rollins cash in?
Yeah, at WrestleMania. That was probably my absolute favorite thing, for sure.
I'm gonna stick to the WrestleMania thing, but
okay.
Mine is WrestleMania 30 when Daniel Bryan beat Randy Orton and Batista to become World Heavyweight Champion. I know
that was amazing. That was insane.
It's like the corny moment or whatever, but that whole match and the fact he had to go through Triple H to get there, and then he had to deal with Triple H and the ref and Stephanie and all that.
Yeah.
And finally got to the mountaintop and won the championship as that version of Daniel Bryan was just like
top tier.
Yeah. And then I'm going to be honest, when Punk returned to wrestling and he returned to AEW, that was
I think also Cody coming back to WWE was also another huge one for me too. Him coming back at WrestleMania, that was crazy.
Well, that was also two of your guys facing each other.
I know.
Seth and Cody, so
I know. I was
like, who do I choose for now?
When Cody came out, I was like, what do I do? I don't know who to pick.
So many people, when the lights went out, were like, is this going to be Bray Wyatt? Like, I had a buddy text me and go, is it Bray? Is Bray back? I said, no, it's Cody.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, it's not. Cody's not going to come back. And then when Cody's music hit, he goes, how did you know it was Cody? I said, well, have you watched any wrestling in the last 6 months?
Right.
Everybody knew Cody was leaving AEW, and everybody knew WWE was going to offer him. And everybody knew it was going to be Seth and Cody at Mania. It's not like they tried to really hide it.
Yeah.
When Vince told Seth it'll be a hand-picked opponent by me,
and you knew.
That gave it away. He gave it away of who it was. All right, one show you want to go to that you haven't yet.
Ooh, okay. So I've never been to an NXT event ever. Okay. So I've always wanted to go to one. So that's definitely on my bucket list. I know that they are known to be the best show to go to.
Yes.
And it's also a lot more, I guess, like intimate than like Raw or SmackDown or whatever. So that's on my bucket list. I want to go to an NXT show.
Oh, so you want to go to like one at the Performance Center?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Do I fly all the way to Florida just for that? Because I think I remember NXT used to travel, and they would do shows around like Raw and SmackDown did, and then they kind of like stopped doing that. So I was like, I kind of wish I would have had the opportunity to go to one. So it kind of sucks that they don't travel. I wish they would. I think they would do really well. I think they would do really, really well traveling, but I want to go to one for sure.
I think, and I could be wrong, I think they're doing a show in Philadelphia right before AEW does like a residency at the same arena. I think they're doing NXT in Philly at the 2300 arena.
I guess you could say they do, because like WrestleMania they did NXT, so that makes sense.
Yeah, but they normally travel like with the WWE PLEs though. Like they did the NXT AAA show from the Kia Forum. So like they normally travel with the same if both are going to be in town and both have pay-per-view on the same weekend.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They have done the UFC. What was it? They did one in Vegas at the UFC training facility or something.
Yeah. During WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I wish I would have went.
Yeah, when they did. Yeah. I want to go. Mine's WrestleMania. I want to go to WrestleMania.
Yeah, you have to go. You have to go to a WrestleMania.
Well, tell TKO to stop putting it in Vegas, and maybe I'll get to go.
You know what? I have a feeling that it's going to be there for a while. I think they're going to be in Vegas for a couple of years, to be honest.
Ironically, I tweeted out when they announced it. I was like, so Mania 42 is officially in Vegas. Be ready for TKO and WWE to do Mania every year in Vegas, just like UFC does their big events in Vegas.
I think they make way too much money in Vegas. They made so much money this year.
Yeah.
Insane. So
Which,
I don't care that
much. I wouldn't mind going to Vegas for Mania. It's a long flight. Booking the hotel is going to be expensive. The show itself is probably going to, cheap tickets are probably going to be about $1,000.
And you have WWE World.
And WWE World. And if I'm going to the store, I'm going to buy something at the Superstore. So.
Oh, it's expensive. I bought stuff at the store and it was insane. So.
Yeah, it's insane. Now, I do want to go to Evolution 2 because it's right there in Atlanta. But they're doing Monday Night Raw from Birmingham, Alabama the next night. So I'm debating on buying the Evolution ticket and going, or just waiting till they come to Monday Night Raw and doing it in Birmingham because it'll be a 30-minute drive for me. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I want to go to Evolution 2 because it's the all-women's pay-per-view. But at the same time, Raw's right there in my backyard, basically. So
yeah, you don't have to drive so much, too.
Yeah. All right. Earliest wrestling memory.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know. It's a good question. Like, way back. Oh, gosh. I don't, remember a match or anything, but I remember I was really, really little, and my dad was taking me to, a Monday Night Raw thing way back then, whatever it was called way back then, because I was really young. And the whole reason I wanted to go was to see Triple H and when he was in DX and all of that. And so we went, and he never showed up. And I just remember I was bawling my eyes out because I was so sad. That was literally the whole reason that I wanted to go to that show. And then he was not there. So to this day, it resonates with me because I'm just like, can you imagine you're so excited to see the person that you really want to see, and then you go to that event, and that he was advertised for it too, and then for some reason things changed and he wasn't there, and I was really, really little, so, but I still remember it to this day, and I was so mad. I'm still mad about it, still salty about it. So, but I will say I have seen him wrestle in person. I was when his match with him and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, I was there for that, so I got to make up for missing him, but that still stings that the little girl in me didn't get to see her favorite wrestler wrestle. So I don't remember what year it was either. Don't question me on that because I don't know.
I'm not.
It was a long time ago. That's all I know.
The only reason I can remember mine year-wise is because it wasn't that long ago and it happened on my birthday. But mine is going back to that DVD. My earliest is Bray Wyatt beating John Cena. That's got that. That match still, I'll go on Peacock just to go to WrestleMania 30 just to watch that match.
Wow.
And I'll say my least favorite wrestling memory is Brock Lesnar beating The Undertaker streak. Because I didn't understand watching it, why it was so special at the time. And then I started getting more into wrestling and started realizing it more. And I was like, oh, that's a big deal. That's a really big deal. Because you got to think, this was 2014. I'll be 22 in a couple weeks. Yeah, I'm extremely young. I'm only 21 years old.
Wow. I feel so old.
Let's see. I'll be 22 in a few weeks. So that would have been 11 years. So I was 11 years old watching it. So I was like, and also my parents, it's weird though. My dad hates me watching it or hated me watching it growing up. He was like, I don't want you watching it. He even banned me for 3 years of watching it because me and my cousins would do moves that we saw, outside on the trampoline. We would do the moves, and he'd be like, "Y'all are gonna get hurt, so stop watching it." So I would sneak and watch it and like hide it from him.
That's like totally opposite of me. My parents were huge wrestling fans. Before I was even born, my parents were huge wrestling fans. So it's in my blood.
But it's so weird to me. It's so weird to me that he's like, you love this too. Like he tells me now, he's like, you're obsessed with this. I was like, it's your fault.
Right.
You bought the DVD that made me obsessed with it. And I still have the DVD.
I still watch it.
I'm like, you're the reason that I like wrestling. It's your fault. And he goes,
right.
Well, no, I didn't buy it for you. I said, you paid for it. I said, my mom might have picked it out, but you're the one that paid for it. And he goes, well, when you say it like that, I guess it is my fault.
Oh.
Which my entire family is like, they don't understand. Like, they always say, isn't wrestling fake? And I hate that word. Like, I hate the word fake when it comes to wrestling. I'm like, no. You go try to get in a ring and take a bump, and you tell me if it's fake. And they're like, well, we're not doing that. I said, because it's not fake.
Right.
It's scripted, but it ain't fake.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think all wrestling fans would agree with that. So
you kind of already answered this one, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Okay.
Favorite current and favorite all-time wrestler? I think I know your favorite current. I think I know.
Do you though? No, I'm just kidding. Favorite of all time is Triple H.
Yeah.
I said that like a million times. That's my goat. Also John Cena is another one of my, because he was also part of my childhood too. Current, so obviously everyone's gonna say Cody Rhodes. I know people are gonna say Cody Rhodes, but I have been a Cody Rhodes fan for way too long for him to be like.
I don't think it's Cody. I think I know who it is. But
okay, before I say it, I want you to tell me who you think my favorite current wrestler is.
I think it's Ethan Page.
Correct. Now let me get this out because I've had people come at me about this. Okay, I have liked Ethan Page since he was in AEW. Okay. I found Ethan on YouTube. Okay. I didn't even know, I didn't pay attention to anything he did wrestling wise. I found him from his toy stuff that he does on YouTube. And then he got into started wrestling and I started noticing all of that. And then he came to WWE and I'm like, I love him. He's amazing. I think he's so good. He's one of the best heels. I don't understand why people don't see that. I think he's great. So current, definitely Ethan Page. And then of all time, I would say Triple H. For sure. So
you know how I knew it was Ethan Page?
Oh God, please tell me.
The email you sent me before we started when we were talking about doing the AAA stuff, and you go, well, I only watched Ethan's match.
Yep, that's fine. Everybody can know that. I turned on World's Collide. I was like, okay, because I didn't know when his match was. So I had to watch all the matches before him, which actually was pretty entertaining. I'll tell you that for the first time of watching those things. The Iguana guy is amazing. He's hilarious.
Mr. Iguana.
Yes, I enjoyed it. It was amazing. And then Ethan's match came on. I was like, okay, I'm going to watch it, which to me was the best match of the whole night. And then as soon as his match was over and he won, I was like, all right, I'm leaving. And I went to the gym and I didn't even watch Chad Gable. I'm sorry. But literally that was the only reason that I
didn't miss anything in the Gable match.
And I've said a million times, I used to watch NXT, obviously, when Seth was in there and all of that stuff. I took a break from NXT for a while. And then when Ethan showed up to NXT, I got back into it. And I'm so happy that I did because NXT is so good. I was missing out. And I'm so mad that it took Ethan to bring me back into it because it is so freaking good. Sometimes it's better than Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, which is insane. It's insane. And now I have a bunch of favorite people that I like in NXT, like Trick Williams. I love watching him wrestle. He's insane. So it's just, I don't know. I'm very, very excited that I got back into NXT because people kept trying to get me back into it. And I'm like, I'm good. And now I'm like, this is amazing. This is great. So yes, definitely.
I was a little mad at myself this past Tuesday. So I didn't watch NXT. And then I opened up Twitter and Mariah May debuted. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. That's
missed the debut. And then I tweeted, I was like, I will never miss NXT again.
That was a really good episode of NXT too.
2 weeks in a row, I missed it. JC Jane wins the women's championship. Mariah May debuts. I can't miss anymore. Because
That's
the next
crazy.
thing I know,
Both of those episodes were so good too.
oh, I went back and watched them. I couldn't believe it.
You're like, of course I missed them and something crazy happens. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trey is in the comments. What's up, Trey? I was really shocked when we were out. I wasn't shocked. I think everybody kind of.
Really?
I think it was soon. But I'm not.
I thought she was going to show up at Raw. I didn't think she was going to show up at NXT, so I was kind of shocked, to be honest.
All right, let's get into this though. Any advice you would give a content creator just starting out?
Ooh, I like this question. I would say the biggest thing, which I feel like a lot of people say this, is to be yourself. Don't change who you are just to get views and to get attention. Enjoy what you do. It's okay to not agree with everything that's going on in wrestling. It is okay to talk about things that you don't like and you do like. Another big thing is don't get mad about views. I know that there are some creators out there that stress out about why should I continue doing this if I'm not getting thousands and thousands of views? And it's like, you have to start somewhere. Like, it's going to take time. Not everybody is going to go viral immediately and become big immediately. Like, it's going to take time to do it, and you have to stick with it because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of frustration because I get frustrated a lot too. But I would just say be yourself and don't give up on what you do, because if you love this as much as you say that you love it, you won't stop doing it. And I'm always here to support small creators. I know that there are some creators out there that don't pay attention to a lot of small creators once they get big. I will never be that person because I know what it's like to not get a lot of views and to start out. And so if you guys need me to watch your stuff, I'm here and I'm okay with that. I'm happy to promote you guys because I think everyone should be successful in being a content creator, especially over something that we all enjoy so much. So just be yourself. Don't change who you are just to please everybody else, for sure.
Yeah, when you said that there are certain big creators that won't support
that don't pay attention,
I thought of one person. I'm not going to say their name, but I do have one person in mind. And that person I have not spoken to since some things that were publicized. Let's put it that way. Okay. I won't say who they were on camera.
No, you don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to start the drama. I see it. Trust me. As a semi, I'm not going to say I'm a big creator. I don't think I'm a huge creator, but as a semi big creator, I see it. There's a lot of people that are above me that pay absolutely no attention to me and do not care about what I do, but I watch all of their stuff. So it's just like, I don't know. And then people ask for advice all the time, or just a simple follow, like following a small creator. Like, that's a big deal. When Malik followed me, I freaked out. When BDE followed me, I freaked out because that just shows that they're real people and that they do care about what they do. You know, like Santi, I think he's like one of the nicest people there is. And I hate that he gets so much shit all the time because he's literally like the nicest person. And I love watching his stuff so much.
Yeah. And I agree with Trey there, saying that you are a cool person. I absolutely agree with that.
Thank you. That means a lot. I try to be the nicest person. I try to stay out of drama. I try to be nice to everybody. So
I try just, and I had to learn it too, of like when you're in this space, you know, because it can be competitive. Right. I came into it being like, yeah, I'm not going to collaborate with other creators. I'm not going to support other. And I'm like, you know what? No, because if I don't do that, then they're not going to support me. And it only works if we're all supporting each other. But I had to learn that. And once I did, I started getting more of a following. And I'm nowhere near as big as half of the people in the space. But
you'll get there.
I like to think I'm one of the nicer people in the space. As far as I have no problem answering anybody on Twitter or like talking to anybody or having anybody on my podcast or going on somebody else's podcast. Like, I have no problem with it. But let's
before you move on, let me just say something real quick to go on to what you said. Minnie Portal posted this thing on Twitter the other day where she said, it's not the following that matters. It's the people who watch your content that matters. If you're not getting those interactions with people that like resonate with your content, then what are you doing this for? Because having a following is not the biggest point of being a content creator. So as long as you're engaging with other creators and you have people who know you for certain things, that's what matters the most.
Yeah, absolutely, and I agree with that. And Minnie is also one of those. Is just she is so nice all the time
Yeah.
on Twitter. I want to get her on here and talk to her. She's one of the nicest people in the space, and she gets
Mm.
so much hate. Her and Weezy both. I've seen you get hate.
Yeah.
Marissa gets hate. It's just, and there's some guys that get it too, but for the women that do the same thing that the guys do, y'all get so much more hate, and it's so unfair. And it's only because you're women. It's got nothing to do with like how good you are. It's just people want to hate on you because you're a woman in a quote male-dominated space.
In a male-dominated space, exactly.
The next question, though, this could be controversial. This could get some people riled up. I don't know. You may not want to answer this.
Okay.
Favorite wrestler / creator to collaborate with. This could lose you some brownie points in the space. I can name. You
go first. You go first before I say.
Mine's gotta be shout out.
Me, I know. You're welcome. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you're on the list now, but shout out to Make Yourself Famous podcast. I had Johnny on here.
I'm so jealous. I want to go on their podcast so bad.
DM them on Twitter or Discord. I'm sure they'll have you on there.
That's true. Okay, go ahead. Continue.
He was probably my favorite because we scheduled for like an hour, and 2 hours later we were like, we're still talking. So it went so seamlessly. It didn't feel like it was forced. Conman was good. Conman was good. Conman was good. Nothing but love for Conman. I'm not going to elaborate on that. And then AJ Francis was fun. I didn't get as much time with him as I wanted to, which I get because he's a wrestler. He's busy. He had to travel that day, so I understand it. I do want to try to get Zilla if Zilla sees this. I want to try to get Zilla Fatu on my podcast. I know he's extremely busy, and it's probably going to be a no, but Zilla, come on, man.
Do it.
I acknowledge you, Zilla.
I'm telling Roman that you said that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. You're really going to put me in the spotlight. Oh, my God. Okay. I'll start with favorite wrestler, Nick Nemeth. We did a couple TikToks together when I went to one of his comedy shows, which was really nice of him to do that with me. And I was actually
must be your favorite.
What do you mean?
I can't believe I didn't think of Nick Nemeth to be your current favorite too.
Yeah, hello. I'm
like, I just thought Ethan Page because of the email I got back. I'm like,
I've never. You know what? I'm gonna be real with you. I have never this was my first time meeting Ethan. Was at WrestleMania. I've never met him before. Yeah. That was the first time. And so I'm sure you've seen all the stuff online where people think that my husband looks like Ethan Page. Like it's a whole thing right now. It's a big thing.
Wait, didn't you also tweet that he's been going around the house saying ego and all ego for weeks?
Yeah, he's been into Ethan a lot lately. I think that's because of all of you guys. You guys are feeding his ego, and now he's starting to
like it. He's feeding it.
He's actually dressing up as Ethan Page for Monday Night Raw tomorrow, so that's going to be fun.
It's going to be great.
I'm excited to see what Ethan's reaction is going to be to that because that's a whole thing too. But anyways, I would love to because I want to start a YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel. I just haven't done anything yet. And so I think it'd be really cool to have Ethan on my YouTube channel to talk about his YouTube channel because that's how I got into him. So that would be really fun. But no, Nick Nemeth for sure. I actually wanted to do more content with him when I saw him at WrestleMania, but his schedule was insane that whole weekend. And so we didn't really get a chance to do anything, but he was my favorite wrestler. You're going to give me so much crap. Favorite creator is Narcolepsy Boys, Malik. He brought me on his podcast multiple times when I was just becoming something. And he gave me, a lot of respect and a lot of love. And it's just really fun with him. He makes you feel comfortable. So if you ever get the chance to interview Malik or have him on your thing, I highly recommend it because he's an amazing person. So don't get an ego, Malik. Okay. I know I'm hyping you up a lot, but he's a really good friend. So he's for sure my favorite.
He's going to be on social media going ego.
Oh my God. I wouldn't be surprised. He's gonna clip this and be like, "All right, guys, Renee said I'm better." No, but he's cool. Now, I will say, just before you finish, I will say that there are a few creators, which I wanted to ask you this. There are a few creators that I want to collaborate with. Okay. So I wanted to know what creators you would like to have on here. And if they saw this, like, who would you want to collaborate with?
Okay. Jake TV's got to be one of them.
You mean Bronson Reed?
Yeah, Bronson Reed. And honestly, I'd probably just, on the title, I'd probably say I interviewed Bronson Reed just to see how many people would click on it thinking it was really Bronson.
If you have him on here, that should be your title. Interviewing Bronson Reed.
And then everybody's like, oh, WWE wrestler. And then everybody sees it's Jake and they're like, well, it is Bronson, but
right.
You know, which also people are calling him JC Mateo now. So there's that.
I don't see that.
I think it makes more sense because JC's got tattoos, but not as many as Bronson.
Yeah.
Minnie would be on that list. I want to interview her. Her and Nate. I want to interview both of them. Mm-hmm. Wheezy is on there. Mm-hmm. There's one that used to be on there that's not anymore. I'm not going to name him.
You better message me because I got to know. I want to know who it is.
I'll tell you.
I want to know.
I've been referencing him a little bit, so I'll tell you. Santi Zap, I'd really like to interview.
Yeah.
Really, just because I want the title to be, I made Santi Zap oil up. Like I just want that to be a thing. Look, Conman made it a thing, and we got to keep it going.
Right.
The entire Vibe, like all the Vibe guys, like all four of them. I'd love to interview one-on-one or just all four of them at the same time.
All together. Yeah.
I think BDE probably the one that I want solo just because I've watched him more and I've followed more of his stuff. And then Malcolm. Malcolm I've got to interview because I need to know Malcolm's Waffle House order. I also want him to ask me my Waffle House order because I've got one and he hasn't yet. He has yet to ask me.
You know, it's so funny. I met him at WrestleCon, at WrestleMania, and I was so sad. I was like, you should have asked me what my Waffle House. I love Waffle House. Like that's my favorite thing. So I was like really sad that he didn't ask me, but he's super cool. I hope you get him on here.
Trey's got a question for you.
Okay.
Can you say it or you need me to?
No, I can read it. What was her all-time favorite match? Oh, okay. I have a lot of favorite matches, but if I could say within the last 5 years, 10 years or so, I think Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins in Hell in a Cell when Cody had his torn pec. I still go back and watch that match. I think it was a great match. Man, I don't know. I think right now that's probably my favorite match so far. It's just, I don't know. It was so good. And just the fact that he wrestled with a torn pec is just unbelievable to me that he did that. It's crazy. But of all time, oh my goodness. I don't know. Okay. If I go back even further, I would say Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker as a retirement match when Shawn Michaels had to retire. That was also a really, really good match too. Top tier. I think that was like 2009, 2010-ish, I think. Don't quote me on that.
What was that?
It was a while.
Was that Mania 25?
It was in Arizona, yeah.
Oh, geez.
Mania something. It was a while ago, so I'm not 100% sure on that. But
I think 2009 because Mania 30 was 2014, so I think 2009. Yeah.
Okay, so I was right. Okay, yeah. That's a good question, though.
Yeah, that is a good question. That's a better question than what I had.
It was Mania 26, Streak versus Career. Okay, so it was Mania 26.
Okay. I think was 29 or not 29. Was 25 when they did like the end of the era thing? I can't remember if.
Oh my god, I don't know.
Was that the year after? I don't remember. They had so many
long ago.
They had so many matches with Shawn and Hunter and Taker.
I know.
It's just it's hard to remember. But there is one more creator I'd like to interview. There's another wrestler I'd like to interview as well. This will never happen, although I would love it. I want to interview Roman Reigns so badly. I want to interview him Just
You
to
gotta
say,
have goals. You gotta have
just
goals
to
in life.
say, I acknowledge you, my tribal chief. Just
Oh
to
my.
say that. And then another creator I'd want to interview. It's got to be Denise Salcedo.
Mhm.
I love her stuff, all the stuff she
Yeah.
does. So I would say Sean Ross Sapp, but Sean's less of a creator and more of a reporter. So
You
he'd
can
be
still
on
interview him.
Yeah, he'd be on that list. He was on when Conman did his subathon. Sean was on there. And Sean's always been cool to me on Twitter and stuff. So yeah, I wouldn't mind having Sean on here. Plus, I want to see how much stuff he'll give me, like how much inside information he'll tell me that he's getting, about these shows. Is he getting the results, or is he finding out with the rest of us?
Right. You could also do Chris Van Vliet. That would be kind of cool. I mean,
Yeah.
like he's
Also,
an
Maven.
interviewer.
Now that Maven has a YouTube channel, I'd love to interview Maven.
For sure.
But your dream wrestling interview.
I feel like I already mentioned this. Okay, wait. I'll give you two. One is way too high. I think it will never happen, which is Cody Rhodes. I would love to interview Cody Rhodes, even if it was just like a quick, like little TikTok thing where I ask him like 10 questions. I think that'd be really fun. But as I said, I would love to interview Ethan Page just because I want to know how he got into YouTube and like what got him into caring about toys and wrestling figures and all of that, or just action figures in general. I just find it so interesting. I don't know why, I just do. So I would say him and Cody Rhodes, but I feel like Cody Rhodes will never happen. I don't think I'll ever get that opportunity, but who knows?
You never know. I also just noticed you have a huge Cody Rhodes poster behind you, and you have something Cody Rhodes on your wall.
Yeah, I made that sign and I took it to a Monday Night Raw, and he loved it. He thought it was the funniest thing. And then I have a Seth Rollins towel back here too.
You also have a day one-ish, Shout out to Usos.
Yeah, I have a Dolph Ziggler jacket.
I will say, I would love to interview Cody, although I would have to tell him ahead of time, look, I did not want you beating Roman. We'll just say that. I'll put that out there. I don't want you beating Roman.
I'm sure he's heard that a lot. So
I think he saw my tweet about it because I'm pretty sure his wife has me blocked on Twitter. Because after WrestleMania 40, I was very upset that Cody won, and she saw your stuff. Well, I also tagged her in it because she was in the entrance. Yeah, so I may or may not have said something about Cody being a paper champion and how the title doesn't mean anything anymore because it's on Cody, and I may have tagged Brandy in it. But I've changed. I'm Team Cody kind of now. Until he faced
good.
When Roman came back at SummerSlam and attacked Solo, and him and Cody teamed together at Bad Blood, I was like, okay, as long as Roman says Cody's good, we're good. But when Roman goes back after that title, which he will, then Cody's back to being a bad guy in my eyes.
Oh my God.
I can't go against any of the Samoans. That family scares me. They're mean and they're big and they're... Jacob Fatu scares me.
Really?
So does Zilla. Like, when I stood next to Zilla and took the picture with him at Bad Blood, you can see it on my face. I was nervous to meet him because I've watched all his stuff and I like him a lot. I was also terrified. I was like, please don't spike me. Please don't spike me. But then he also told me, because I was wearing a Roman shirt, and he also told me, he's like, hey, man, I like your shirt.
Oh, that's really nice.
I was like, okay, so we're good. He understands, I also said when I met him, I just said, this is the next one, by the way, in the bloodline. This is the next one that's going to take over. And he goes, a couple years maybe. He's always said like 2 to 3 years on the independent scene, and then he might come to WWE. Yeah. But every time that it's reported that someone new could be joining the bloodline, everybody goes, it's Zilla. Or like if he's pulled from an independent show, they're like, Zilla's going to WWE. Zilla still has stuff to figure out personally behind the scenes that I won't talk about. So once he figures that stuff out, then WWE will definitely offer him a contract. I have no doubt in my mind.
For sure.
I
I
also
agree.
want to see him and Jacob as a tag team. I saw them on the Indies as a tag team. I still
Mm-hmm.
want to go see one of Zilla's indie shows before he goes to WWE, though.
You
Because
should. Yeah.
I was going to go to the one they did. He did a GCW show in Louisville, and I was going to go to it. And I ended up not going, and I regretted it because I'm like, man, I really want to go to that one.
Yeah, for sure.
But dream wrestling interview for me has to be it's
Roman Reigns.
Roman's number one.
Yeah.
Cody would be number two. And then, honestly, just because I feel like it would be very entertaining and he would stay in character the entire time, Dominic. To interview Dom
That would be so cool.
that would be awesome. And I feel like Dom would probably do it too. Like if he had time on his schedule, I feel like he would do it. Because like he does a lot of media stuff with a lot of people.
You see content creators that do it. Not Malik, my bad, wrong person. Malcolm does it. Like he interviews his wrestlers. So you never know.
I just got to get on Malcolm's schedule, just travel everywhere and do every show.
I feel that.
That's all. Like he goes to every show, and I got to also get a press pass so I can be in the press conference so I can ask Malcolm, be like, Malcolm, what is your Waffle House order? I need to know. I don't think anybody's asked him that, or if they have, it's always he hasn't answered it or something.
That's a good point.
Does Malcolm really go to Waffle House, or does he just say he does because that's what Zilla does? Because Zilla goes to Waffle House. Does Malcolm really go?
They're gonna have to ask him.
I'm gonna text him after this. I'm gonna tag him on Twitter and be like, "Got a question? Do you actually go to Waffle House? Do you actually know what's on their menu?" And I can tell you right now what's on the menu at the Waffle House closest to me. It's disgusting. It's not great food, but it makes you feel comfortable.
I love Waffle House.
No, I do too. It's best to go in the middle of the night. It's best
to
go in the
middle. Sure. For
sure. I went 2 years ago, there was an independent promotion about an hour and a half away from where I live. So I got an opportunity to work with them a little bit for a couple shows. After every show, me and like two of the other wrestlers, we'd go to Waffle House. That's what we did.
Oh.
We just would
go to makes sense.
Because one, it was the only thing open because we'd be leaving the building at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And two, we're just like, we just want something that will make us feel good after the show. Which Jay Uso goes to Waffle House.
I know, he loves it.
If anybody says that these wrestlers aren't going to Waffle House, you go talk to Jay Uso.
Yeah, he gets really upset about it. Right.
He'd probably buy Waffle House if he could.
Probably. Could you imagine? He'd call it Yeet House.
Did you see there was one Malcolm did where he interviewed Matt Riddle. Riddle like hates Waffle House.
I did see that, yeah.
Hates it. He was like, it was awful. I only got the chocolate milk, and it wasn't even a good chocolate milk. I'm like, dude, you don't go to Waffle House to get chocolate milk.
Right.
You go to Waffle House, and you get
waffles.
You get a bunch of garbage food, and you get coffee, and you get orange juice and lemonade, and you figure it out. 100%. I need Malcolm to ask me my Waffle House order, though, because I've got it. I know it. And honestly, I probably eat as much from Waffle House as Jay Uso does. Just his is probably double everything I order.
Oh my god!
Because I order a bunch, but I don't order double of everything. I order one of whatever I get.
Yeah.
But Renee, it was great having you on. I very much enjoyed this Money in the Bank recap and interview. Guys, if you don't know where to find Renee, why don't you tell the people where to find you?
You can find me on X, Instagram, and TikTok at Hey It's Renee. And then hopefully soon you guys will start seeing me post on YouTube and see what happens.
I am looking forward to that. I hope you start posting very soon. I will definitely subscribe to the channel and watch all of your content because I watch all of your stuff on TikTok and on Twitter. I honestly deleted Instagram off my phone because it just got to be too much. It got to be too much.
I don't blame you.
There's a certain point where you just have to give up on Instagram. And I don't use it as much as I do Twitter. So one had to go, and I had to get rid of Instagram. But again, I appreciate you taking the time and being on here. I told you in the email that we'd last about an hour to an hour and a half. we're an hour and 44 minutes, so I appreciate you being okay with the overtime.
Of course.
That was a fun interview. You know what? Your interview might trump Johnny's interview now.
Wow! Don't say that. Marissa's gonna come after me for that. No, I'm just
Johnny.
kidding.
Marissa already hates me. It's a long story.
My god!
I called everybody in their community either calls Johnny the Chisel Chief or calls Marissa the Queen. I call Johnny the Chisel Chief. And in fact, when they posted a video Marissa did on her YouTube channel of them going to some convention, and I said, make sure to go watch it. If for nothing else, the Chisel Chief and the King, Johnny, is on the video.
Oh my god.
She liked it, but then I think she was probably like, you couldn't say because of me? You
oh my god.
Say that because of me? But no, she's great. She actually popped in when we did the interview and talked a little bit to us. So I've got nothing but nice things to say about Marissa and Johnny. They're both incredible people and incredible creators. And I'm so glad that I'm part of their community and that Johnny's come on here as a guest. Maybe Marissa will come on as a guest. We'll see. She may not, now that I just announced that I prefer Johnny over her. But, you know,
it is what it is.
Bygones will be bygones. There's only one creator that I will never even entertain the idea of asking them on my podcast.
Woo! And we'll leave it at that.
Well, yeah, we're not going to go any further. If you know who I'm talking about, then you know who I'm talking about. If you don't know, you're just never going to know because I'm never going to publicly say who it is.
Oh.
Is there anything you want to say to the stream before we end it, though, Renee?
No, just I appreciate anybody that watches this, and I appreciate anybody that watches my content because it means a lot to me. And that's it. That's all I can say. Also, I can't wait for Cody Rhodes to get his title back. That's it.
Cody.